Hello. Yeah, so I don't usually make videos in the morning, but I thought I'd do this one because of some problems that happened yesterday with my GPs. Yeah, more problems with the GPs. Basically, they messed up my prescription and my medications again. It seems to happen after every hospital heart appointment. Every time I go to the heart clinic up there, see them, get my checkups and everything, my GP then messes up my prescription or whatever, you know. And I can understand sometimes mistakes are made, you know, it's fair enough. But this is a humdinger, get my words out. This is a humdinger of a mistake. And either my GP is blind or they can't actually read, you know. But I've got the letters here. Basically, last month I went to a heart clinic to get my heart checkup and everything, and to make sure the new medication they put me on is doing well, and to check that the heart palpitations have gotten better with it and everything. And they sent their report to my GP, letting my GP know what was up. And I discussed with my heart doctor at the heart clinic about keeping my medication, well, reducing my bisoprolol, which is the beta blocker, reducing that to 1.25 milligrams and adding a second medication called flesidine. I can't pronounce it. But it's a heart medication. Flesidinide, something like that. But yeah, it's adding that new medication, 50 milligrams of that a day, twice daily for that, right? So we discussed that. He's put that in his report here to my GP, for my GP to write up the prescription for those meds, right? And it's highlighted here, kind of underlined a bit here. I don't know if you can see in those bottom lines there. It says, I have suggested to her we should try adding in flesidine 50 milligrams twice a day, which that's quite straightforward, you know. I can understand that, and I'm not even a doctor. So then it goes on to say, please reduce the bisoprolol to 1.25 milligrams when she starts the flesidine. So, and then he says, I am also requesting a repeat 24-hour Holter monitor, because he wants to monitor my heart while I'm on this medication to see whether it does help the palpitations and stuff, you know, so he can get an accurate reading. So, you know, that's all quite straightforward, quite understandable, right? And to be honest, I don't know how my doctor has made this, how my GP has made this mistake. This is a letter I got from my GP yesterday. Right, now my GP should have received this letter a couple of weeks ago. Right, and this one he sent me yesterday. He says that my cardiologist, my heart doctor, has sent him a letter asking that we increase, see in this one it says decrease, my GP has put increase your bisoprolol a little at a time. the maximum dose for bisoprolol is 10 milligrams, and currently you are taking 2.5 milligrams, which was correct. I was taking 2.5 2.5 milligrams. My heart doctor wanted to reduce it to 1.25 milligrams. So that bit there is correct. I was taking 2.5. And then he put, clearly going to that level abruptly, to the 10 milligrams abruptly, would not be good, would not be a good idea, obviously. But if we would increase your bisoprolol to 3.5 milligrams from 2.5 milligrams, 3.5, make a note of that. He said 3.5 in the letter there, he's going to increase it to, right? And he's going on to say that's a tiny increase and a good start. Not really, because that is all wrong, mate. And then he goes on to say, I am inclined not to go any quicker than this, as you have relatively low blood pressure, and I do not want to push it so low that you fall over. Yes, my blood pressure is low because of the candesartan, because my blood pressure needs to be kept as low as humanly possible so that it doesn't cause issues with my aorta and my heart. So yeah, again, back to that 3.5 milligrams, that's what he wanted to increase it to. And he sent, along with the letter, the prescription for that. But lo and behold, the prescription, the dosage on the prescription, says 3.75 milligrams. So from this letter he sent me to the prescription, it's gone up by a few. I know it's not gone up by much, but 3.5 to 3.75. You know, there's a difference there, you know? So I was like, what the hell? So this letter I got yesterday freaked me out and set off my anxiety, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? And he's messed it up again, you know. And I didn't have any meds at the time. I had run out. Partly my fault, because the week before I was supposed to hand in my prescription and refill my meds, but I totally forgot due to brain fog. So that's partly my fault. So I hadn't had any meds for like 2-3 days, which was probably really bad of me. But I thought, hand in the prescription. The other day I handed it in once I'd realised that I'd run out of meds, and it takes them a couple of days to sort it out. So yesterday I sent John up there to pick up the meds for me. While he was gone, I got this letter, and that freaked me out. And then he come back and he said, oh yeah, I'm waiting for your meds, we got to pick them up at 2 o'clock. And I was like, okay. I showed him these letters, and he was like, right, that's not right. And I was like, and because my anxiety was kicking off, and because they've messed up these meds, I was thinking, okay, have I been taking the right dosage all along? And then that, of course, made me question all my other meds and the dosages on them. Are they right? Has the GP messed those up? And my whole brain was going mad. And, you know, my brain was kind of screaming and going, I'm going to die. But, you know, my brain just kind of has overreacts sometimes. So I was trying to calm myself down and like, you know, it's probably easily sorted. So, you know, I managed to calm myself down. John went up to the GP surgery with these 2 letters, showed the receptionist, and she said, oh, that's not right, I can see there's a mistake there somewhere. She was like, let me talk to the GP quickly about this. She went off, talked to the GP. The GP had a look. He phoned my heart doctor at the hospital to double check what the correct dosage was and everything. Then the GP wrote up the correct prescription, and he was like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened there. I don't know how that mistake happened. He goes, but yeah, you're on the correct medication now. Here you go. John went and got the prescription filled for me, bought back my meds, and it's all sorted. And I was like, thank God for that. I've got my meds now. And that's my new medication, the really hard to pronounce one. But they're all hard to pronounce. Why? So silly. Which I've got to take these meds in a minute, actually. But then John gave me my repeat prescription for next time, and I read through it to make sure it was all right. And all the medications on there are correct dosages and everything. But he's forgotten to put on my omeprazole. So I've got my omeprazole this time round, but next time round, if I hand this in, I won't get the omeprazole, which I need the omeprazole to protect my stomach from the naproxen, because naproxen has a habit of dissolving the stomach lining if you take it without stomach protectors. So now, next time I go to get my meds refilled, I've then got to argue again with the GP to get the omeprazole put on there, which in that case, they're probably going to end up messing up some of the other medication again. So it's becoming a never-ending cycle with them messing up my prescriptions and my medication. And it seems to happen every time after I've had a appointment at the heart clinic at the hospital, you know, and it's becoming beyond a joke. And every time I make a complaint, they seem to lose the prescription and then take weeks to find it and sort it out. So then I'm left for weeks with no medication at all. No pain medication, which is not good for a chronic pain patient. No heart medication, which is no good. I could die without my heart medication. You know, and it's crazy. And then if I complain more, they just lose it again. And they seem to do this stuff where they'll prescribe me stuff without talking to me first, which I've recently been told is actually breaking the law. They're not allowed to prescribe you anything without having a consultation with you first to discuss it. And I was getting prescriptions with these random medications on, and I was like, what medication is that? What's that for? Where did that come from? I've not seen the doctor recently, so why am I being prescribed this? And they're like, oh, well, that's for this, that's for that. I'm like, right, okay, well, you could have discussed it with me first. How do I know that this is safe for me to take? You know? So they just seem to prescribe me anything willy-nilly, which is illegal. So And I've been told by people, well, you could sue them for all that sort of stuff. But to be honest, I don't have the money to pay out for lawyers. I don't have the time or energy to go for fighting through court with all of that stuff, because these medical malpractice cases can take years. I mean, I went through one with my mum after my mum died, with my mum's case, and that took a couple of years, and it was so complicated and whatnot. I was just like, I can't be bothered with that. I probably should do it, and eventually I probably will if they carry on, but for now I'm just going to leave it as it is and whatever. I've made complaints to my hospital doctors and they're fully aware of it, so whenever I have a problem with my GP, if they're not giving me the correct medication, I just get hold of my hospital doctor. My hospital doctor then rings the GP and sort of like says, look, this patient needs this, can you stop mucking about and get it done? And the GP then has to do it because he's been told by someone who outranks him, I guess, that he's got to do it. So, and it's just becoming a battle to get my medication now, which, you know, kind of freaks me out. So every month I've got to go through this battle. Some months I ain't got to worry, they just give me it and it's done. But the months where I've been to the heart clinic, they seem to just mess it up. And I know why they do that. Because I threatened to sue them before, because they nearly killed me. I'd been going in asking them for a referral to the heart clinic because I have Marfan syndrome and heart issues since I was a child, and they need regularly yearly tests and checkups, and they wouldn't refer me, and without a referral from a GP I can't see the doctor at the hospital. So I had been going in for 7 years fighting with them to get this referral. One day I went in there and it was one of the doctors from the hospital that was, I don't know what they were doing, work experience or volunteering or something at the surgery that day, and that was the GP I had. So I spoke to him and he knew what Marfan syndrome was, and lo and behold, he worked in the heart clinic at the hospital. So he said, yes, you do need yearly checkups, I will refer you. And I went in that week to the heart clinic at the hospital. They did all their tests, rushed me straight in for emergency open heart surgery because my aorta was about to explode and dissect and kill me. They told me after the surgery, if I hadn't come into clinic that day to get tested, I would have died within a week. I had 7 days to live, basically, they told me. So I was extremely lucky. And if that GP, if that doctor from the hospital hadn't been in my GP surgery that day, if it had been my normal GP, then he would have just said to me, oh, you don't need it, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not having chest pains, you don't need a heart checkup. You're young, you know, you're only 20 something. You're young, you don't need, you know. So I wouldn't have got the referral that day, and then within a week I would have been dead. So after the surgery, when I went back in to sort out my meds, they messed up my meds while I was recovering. So me and my partner went in there to sort it out, and we kind of like said to him, look, this ain't on. and you know, I am thinking of suing you because you've done this to me. So now every time I go to the heart clinic, afterwards, when they get the report from the heart clinic, they read it and then find new creative ways they can screw me over, you know. So, and I've been thinking of changing doctors' surgeries, and I've looked into some of the surgeries in my area, but it looks like they're the same. They, you know, and I went through before changing doctors' surgeries and got the same treatment, and it's just like no matter where I go, I'm going to get the same treatment because Marfan syndrome, not many GPs know about it, and where it's so rare, you know, and also I have fibromyalgia and osteoarthritis, and because of the fibromyalgia, I kind of get treated like I'm a hypochondriac that is just after drugs, you know. And the doctor actually said to me, oh, you're just after opioids, you're a drug addict and you're after opioids. And I said, well, no, actually, because opioids are bad for me, they're bad for my heart, and I'm allergic to opioids anyway, so I don't take those. I take naproxen. You know, so I'm not addicted to naproxen. I'm not sure, but I don't think naproxen is addictive. I'm not entirely sure. It probably is. I'm not entirely sure about that, but I know that I'm not addicted to pain medication because I can go weeks without taking it. I have gone weeks without taking it because the GP messing up my prescriptions for it. So, you know, and it's just a constant battle with the GP, but there you go. But I'm going to try and end this video here because it's getting quite long and I need to take my meds and have my breakfast. So I'll just say, anyone out there watching this video who also has had issues with GPs messing up prescriptions or causing problems, if you've had that, comment below this video on YouTube or on the Facebook if you're seeing it on Facebook. Comment below, let me know your story, you know, because I am interested in hearing other people's experiences and stuff. It'd be nice to hear, you know, about that. But yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't been to my Facebook page yet, the Facebook page is named the same as the YouTube, Chronically Suki. So just type that in on Facebook and you'll find me. It's the same logo on the profile picture as the YouTube logo, so it's easy to find. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to go off and take my meds now, and I shall see you all later. Bye bye.